AFTV. Dan, was you at the game?
Do you know what? I wasn't at the game. I was watching it in the pub, but I didn't get out of the ballot, did I? So
okay.
I had to watch it at Tollington, didn't I? So
yeah. Oh, yeah. So yeah, great that Tollington's back open anyway, and
yeah, without
all these pubs and that. I think people forget. We talk about the clubs and that. All these businesses around. They've had a torrid time.
It's been a hard time. It's been a hard time.
Very tough time. Very. But it was a good performance today, though.
Yeah, it was a good performance, and I want to bring up Pepe because I look at the stats, Robbie, and I think, do you know what? The numbers take away the criticism this guy gets. Because I look at Pepe and I think, do you know what? Robert Pires and Freddie Ljungberg, in their first 2 seasons at Arsenal, the first 2 full seasons at Arsenal Football Club, nowhere near what Pepe gets in stats. And I think, why does he get so much stick? Like, listen, he's frustrating to watch. Yes, he is. Absolutely frustrating to watch. Is that down to him or the manager? I put it down to the manager. Listen, I'm Arteta out. I want him gone. I don't think he's good enough. But I look at Pepe and I think, do you know what? I actually see a player there. And I see someone fit him into a system and watch him shine. Because he's got everything he wants on the ability.
I agree. And I think that when I look at Pepe, and every time I look at him, I look at a player that needs to be loved. Yeah. You've got some players, they're like, that player needs to be loved, and that other player needs shaking up. I look at Pepe, I'm like, that's a player that needs to be loved. And when I say loved, I mean, he needs to play week in, week out, but he's just always sort of in, out. He'll play a game, he'll score a goal, the next week, he's on the bench. And that's what I think has been wrong with how Arteta's managed him. I agree with you, he should be playing. Because he's the other thing about Pepe, he's the one player, when he's on the pitch, even last season, I'd look on it, I say, Aubameyang could get us a goal. I look on it, I say, Lacazette can get us a goal. Martinelli, if he's fit, can get us a goal. After that, who's going to score? But if Pepe's there, he's a goal scorer. And you want as many of those people who can score goals on the pitch, don't you?
Listen, it's a no-brainer for me. And do you know what the thing is, Robbie, right, about Pepe? He's playing behind a different right-back every week. Whether it's Callum Chambers, whether it's Hector Bellerin, whether it's Cedric, whether it's Maitland-Niles, whether it's Saka the other week. Come on, man, let this guy get into this team. I honestly believe we've got a player there. He's 25 years old. Yes, he was £72 million. I don't care about that. He's a £35 million player, in my opinion. Yeah, if that. Let's judge him on that. Let's not judge him on the £72 million thing. We understand that it's been like, 28 million so far that we paid for him in these stupid instalments that we agreed, which Raul agreed. Let's look at what Pepe is as a player. He can use both feet. In my opinion, yes, he's quite predictable on the right, but on the left, he looks decent. Central, he looks okay. And you know what? His numbers are decent.
He scores goals. I think it's this season's 15 in all competitions and 5 assists. That's a player that's affected the game in a season where nobody's, probably a Lacazette scored goals, but so. I don't understand why he's just always in and out of the team. I really don't get it. And like you said, that's a great point you bring up about the ever-changing right-backs. So he never knows what's behind him. And you do need a good right-back behind him because it's a player that you want him to run at people or you want him to take people on. And when you run at defenders and you take them on, you know he's going to get past them.
100%.
They're going to win the ball sometimes, you know what I mean?
100%. He's got the ability to go past players. And sometimes we don't see enough of that. I understand that. I understand it's frustrating. Listen, I've been frustrated with him the whole season. But I look at it, I think, is he the player we should be targeting and having a go at? Should we not be looking at other players and thinking, what are you doing? Listen, Saka and Smith-Rowe, unbelievable, right, this season? Absolutely, because of their age. Saka's got 5 goals. Smith-Rowe's got 1. Pepe's got 14. Why are we looking at Pepe to slate? Just because he was 72 million? I'm not so sure we should be looking at that.
It's a great point, great point. What do we need to do in the summer?
Well, I think we know we need to invest. We do need to invest. Listen, I'm not a massive fan of the Cronkies, as we saw the protest today. I'm not a huge fan of the manager. However, I think everyone can see we need an anchor in midfield to allow Thomas Partey to go forward. We need a right back. We need a backup left back and a backup keeper. But what we need is to understand the creativity of our transition between midfield. I think our midfield is probably the weakest it's been since 1995. And I'm not even exaggerating. I think it has been. I think I look at our midfield now and I think, do you know what? Thomas Partey is fantastic on his day. He's been a poor signing for this season. But do you know what? He's got ability there. We need to help him now and go forward with that. I look at Thomas Partey and I think Bissouma would be a perfect anchor for him to go forward and be a box-to-box midfielder. That's, for me, would be our pivot in midfield. And then it depends what you want to do with a Jack Grealish. Everyone thinks we get Jack Grealish. Maybe we could. If we sell players, maybe we could. Maybe it's not unrealistic,
Why would Jack
Robbie.
Grealish come to Arsenal?
You say that, Robbie. Would he want? Would he not? We've got the pulling power of the Arsenal. Let's not forget that.
Yeah. If I'm his agent,
Okay, go on.
I'm going to be honest here. I'm going, yo, Jack, you go to a team that's in the Champions League. And that, not a team that can't even make the Conference League.
And do you know what? Do you know what my backup to that would be? And I would agree with you 100%. Do you know what my backup to that to be? We've sold Lacazette. We signed Lacazette, Aubameyang, Thomas Partey, Kieran Tierney, Gabriel out of the Europa League. So, is it about Champions League football? Is it coming to the
Well,
Arsenal?
it's two things, and then there's money. The only other thing that can persuade a player like that to forego the Champions League is to get a big amount of money. Because no doubt, if he comes to Arsenal, his profile will be huge, way bigger than it is at Villa, right? But you've got to pay him, and you'd have to offer him a king's ransom to come. Are they going to pay that?
Well, let's look at the situation, right? Let's look at a few signings that we could, players that we could sell. Let's look at Eddie Nketiah, Joe Willock potentially. Some people want to keep him. Do you know what? 25, 30 million, I think we'll sell him. Ainsley Maitland-Niles likewise. Torreira, Guendouzi. I'm looking at those players and I'm thinking, if we get just 20 million for each of those players, which might be unrealistic, I don't know, we could probably go and sign Jack Grealish. Would that be a bad signing to get rid of those few players that are fringe players, that don't really play a game? Go and get Jack Grealish and push us forward. That's what I'd love to see from this owner. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, Robbie. The way I see it is Bissouma, Buendia, Max Aarons, Lamptey, they're even potentially unrealistic signings. I don't know where this club wants to go at the moment, which leads back to Stan Kroenke. Where does he want to take us? Does he want to give us, 250 million and say, go and compete with Man City? Or does he want to say, let's just try and get for top four. Let's go and get Emi Buendia. Let's go and get Max Aarons. Let's go and get Bissouma. That's probably going to give us a compete for top four. Let's remember, Robbie, we've got Liverpool are going to be back up there next season when Van Dijk and all the rest come. Man City, if they sign Harry Kane, everyone else forget it for the next 4 years. Man United, they're going to be all right with Bruno Fernandes and whoever they sign. Yeah? And then obviously you've got Chelsea. They signed 250 million, and let's be honest, they're going to sign a lot more in the summer. So that's the top four for me. So next season it's top four.
You've got Leicester. You've got Everton are going to go again.
Tottenham are probably going to spend the Harry Kane money.
Yeah.
Maybe it's unrealistic to think we're going to get top four. Maybe it is. Maybe that's where we've got to look at ourselves. I'm very spoiled as a fan. I'm 33 years old. I've looked at myself as, do you know what, 98, loved it. In the 90s, the 2000s, I absolutely loved watching Arsenal. Maybe I'm spoiled. Maybe we're not there anymore. Maybe we need to be realistic. My problem is I'm ambitious. Yeah, and I should be saying, do you know what, Stan Kroenke, go and compete with Man City. Don't compete with Leicester and Spurs. Don't sit there and say, we need to buy a few players to keep up with Leicester and Spurs. No, we need to be getting up there with the Liverpools and the Man Cities. Compete with them. Go and buy Jack Grealish. Who else is he going to go to? Let's be honest, Jack Grealish, right? That's the player who can lift us forward, like Bruno Fernandes did with Man United. Where would Jack Grealish go? Yeah, he might go to a few clubs. I think he'd get into the first team of Arsenal. He already says he wants to be there, at London, in Emirates. I think we could get that some player. And do you know what? That lifts us forward. That one player lifts us forward. That's what it's about for me in the summer now, is Mikel Arteta and Stan Kroenke saying, right, what can we do to lift us forward? Not just compete with top four. Yeah, listen, top four. Everyone's slated us for getting top four for about 15 years. Arsenal only top four. And now everyone's amazed for getting top four. Tottenham, they're top four now. Hang on a minute, when we got top four, we were getting slated for getting top four. I don't want to be top four. Everyone says top four is an achievement. No, it's not. Fourth place. I remember coming out of Highbury in 2003, right? And I was there against Leeds, and I was in mourning when we come second against Man United. I was in mourning.
That's how it should be.
Exactly, that's how it should be, Robbie. And this is what this club is about, the Arsenal. I'm not sitting there going, it's a shame we didn't get fourth place. It's a shame today we didn't get seventh ahead of Tottenham. Come on, man, how far have we dropped? Let's talk about where we should be, yeah? This is the Arsenal. This isn't Wigan. This isn't Bournemouth. This is the Arsenal, yeah? We should be right up there with Manchester United and City. And yeah, it might be unrealistic, and I understand the fans' frustration. I'm one of them, yeah? But I look at the Stan Kroenke situation and I think, do you know who Thomas Partey is? that you apparently played for 45 million. If that was the case, why did you sell Emi Martinez for 20 million? Because you didn't want 45 million for Thomas. You don't even know who Thomas Partey is. You have no idea who Thomas Partey is. You don't watch football. You're too busy in the Rams investing 5 billion in their stadium. Why do you care about honesty? This is what frustrates me with these fans. Oh, Stan Kroenke isn't the problem. Okay, let's take this situation. Stan Kroenke is not the problem at Arsenal. I get that there is more problems than Stan Kroenke. I understand there's the board issues. I understand there's the manager issues. And I don't think the board have... the telepathy between the board and the fans and also the owner is not been there. But I look at the situation, Robbie, and I think, you think this owner, has given you 45 million to pay for Partey? He doesn't know who this guy is. Why would you sell Emi Martinez for £20 million if you are happy to give 45 million to Thomas Partey? The fans need to wake up. This guy is more than happy to settle. Yeah? He is more than happy to settle. Where did we come this season? 9th. It's not a problem, mate. I've still got my money in my back pocket. Let's get someone who cares. I watched the Leicester FA Cup final. I had a tear in my eye. I'm happy to admit it. I had a tear in my eye because I loved the way the owner come on that pitch. And he backed Brendan Rodgers. And he's backed the recruitment. And he's understood that, do you know what? If we don't have Nkante, we'll go and buy Ndidi. If we don't have Danny Drinkwater, I'm happy to go and buy James Maddison. Riyad Mahrez, see you later, I'll bring in Harvey Barnes. That's the recruitment of what we need in this football club. We don't have it. We are so far away from reality with the owner, the board, the manager, and some of the players. Not all of them, but some of them. And I think we're miles away from looking where we need to be, Robbie. I really am worried about this football club moving forward.